first time getting to say something I hope I say quite a lot this year. Blue Jays win by a score of 10-8 over the visiting Texas Rangers, an opening night here in Toronto. And, yeah. How are we all doing out there? I think I'm doing a little better than I thought I was going to be doing initially. Jays ace Jose Barrios getting the call for the home opener, of course, taking on new guy on the block in Texas, Jon Gray, who maybe initially was pretty happy that he's not pitching in Colorado anymore. Maybe he's not feeling that way so much anymore. Maybe it feels like more of the same. Either way, it was an absolutely wild game, and yeah, let's get into it. The first pitch of the season, it shouldn't matter. It's one pitch of thousands, and it has no real bearing on the game outside of how it affects that current at-bat. But ever since I was a kid, I always placed outsized importance on that first pitch of the season. If it's a strike, it's going to be a good year. If it's a ball, yeah, maybe not. Is that nonsense? Of course it's nonsense. That's not accurate. We're not talking about facts, we're talking about feelings here, people. That's what baseball is about. Feelings. What's that? Baseball is about numbers. Okay, so anyway, the first pitch. It was a ball, and a typical Jose Barrios ball where it's a pitch with all kinds of movement. You never know where it's going to go, and it ended up outside the strike zone, and I had some mild trepidation about that. That feeling did not go away for a little while. And you can say what you want about the first pitch being an omen. The first hitter that you face jacking one is definitely a sign of something. In this case, it was a sign of my heart rate plummeting. That was not ideal. I was really excited. You know, first game was going to be what I hope to be a really nice season, and the first guy that sees Jose Barrios take some yard. And like, it's Brad Miller. We're not talking about the second coming of Ruth here. I know I shouldn't disrespect a guy who just hit a home run, but come on, let's be serious. Walk, single, wild pitch, walk, single, fielder's choice, hit by pitch, and that's the end of Barrios' night. Goal. And then, to replace him and try to salvage the situation, let's bring in two relievers who wouldn't be on the team were it not for some unfortunate injuries. I don't know, I wasn't there when Charlie was making the decision, but in my opinion, these are the moves of a manager who maybe is starting to think about tomorrow, maybe more than winning tonight. Salcedo does allow the inherited runner to score, then he gives up the home run to Garver. Thornton is battling out there, and that's pretty much the best he can say for him at a given time, is that he's battling, but then he also gives up a run in a couple innings. Honestly, for Thornton, probably best case scenario. And then you get through the Texas fourth, and they've scored 7 runs, mate, on opening night. That's just suboptimal. Meanwhile, Jon Gray can't miss. Strikeouts and weak contact all over the place. Looking like Cy Young out there. And then, for the first time of many tonight, the worm turns. We get to the fourth. Jon Gray has faced 9 batters in 3 innings. That's pretty good. But then all of a sudden, his pinpoint control loses some of that pinpointiness. Walk, single, single from the top of the order, and it's 7-1. By the way, I could watch Vladdy hit opposite field singles all day, and that's good, because I feel like I'm going to be watching that an awful lot. It's just, oh man, watching Bo and Vlad try to hit the ball the other way all night, that bodes real well. That's a good sign early on. Also, big ups to George. 2 walks tonight, 2 runs scored. Doesn't have his hitting shoes on yet, but we're pretty confident he'll find that, and he still found a way to contribute to the offense. So big ups to George. A walk, a fielder's choice, a sac fly, and all of a sudden, without getting a big loud hit, it's 7-3. Blue Jays are in this thing. It's at this point that I want to talk about the relief pitching the rest of the way. Absolutely solid. Fantastic job by the relievers throughout. I know Simber gave up that home run, but it was a pretty weird home run. Like, that was an 87 mile an hour, not much juice behind it fastball, and Garcia didn't even really seem to hit it that well. It just kind of kept carrying. Simber was surprised. Teo was surprised. I think Garcia was pretty surprised. It was one of those being like, and that's out. That's a home run. Yeah, that's a home run. Anyway, that's not here nor there. Stripling did a great job. Merriweather, really nice to see him come out and do well. Garcia, I like the cut of this guy's jib. I think he can be a big weapon for us. Obviously, Romano locked it down emphatically. You gotta like all that. Anyway, great job from the relief corps, at least the regular relievers. Salcedo, I think better things are coming for him, but I don't think he's quite Major League ready yet. Trent Thornton, I don't see the appeal. I don't know why they keep putting him on this team. I don't know why he keeps getting Major League reps. At some point, you just have to admit, Guy doesn't have it. Guy's not a big league pitcher. He's a quad A pitcher at best. If you need him for emergency depth, that's one thing, but I don't think that's quite the situation this early in the year. There's gotta be someone that we'd rather have in the pen before Trent Thornton. Sorry, just how I feel about it, and how I've always felt about it. Never been a big fan of Butters. But with the bullpen continuing to keep the Rangers down, all of a sudden it's the bottom of the fifth, and the top of the lineup's up again. Springer with a walk. Bo with a single. Vladdy with another opposite field RBI single. I could watch it all day. And remember what I said about getting 3 runs on not a lot of big loud hits? Well, that trend changes. Teoscar Hernandez, you beautiful bastard! Oppo Teo, the rarest and most wonderful form of Teo. A big-time 3-run bomb, and remember when it was 7-0? Yeah, it's tied now. Yeah. This year's gonna be pretty fun, guys. We go to the 6th, and things calm down a little bit. Bullpen continues to perform well. 2 quick outs, and then, oh, Danny drew a walk. That's nice, and he's already got a hit. No, Jano's doing well. And you're like, well, okay, I mean, like, this is a good way to turn the lineup over, and Santiago Espinal, patent pending, you heard it here first. Santiago Espinal with, you know, those guns are popping, as Pat Tadler might say. A screaming liner all the way to the wall in the left center field gap. Scores Jano all the way from first base on a bit of choice base running from a catcher, no less. And the Blue Jays have an 8-7 lead. Yeah, 161 more games of this. Yeah. I kind of maybe let the cat out of the bag a little bit earlier. I'm assuming most people who are watching this video saw the game. But yes, Adolis Garcia did manage a weird kind of, did he get it, did he not, how did that go out kind of home run against Adam Simber. And we're tied at 8 again. I mean, I guess a game like this is pretty likely to happen opening day when everyone's got a few nerves, a few jitters, and, you know, pitchers aren't exactly stretched out to their full capacity just yet. But I can't remember a wilder opening night. Maybe I'm just not remembering, but holy jumping, this seemed pretty special. We go to the 7th. Bobuchek gets picked off at first base. They use the replay with the umpires explaining themselves to the crowd like out of hockey or basketball. I love that. That is fabulous. That's a really nice change. MLB is usually pretty reticent on the making changes that fans actually really want. So when they do something that we want, we should give them kudos for it. This was great. It worked really great. It's a big improvement. Well done, MLB. I don't remember the last time I said, good job, MLB, where people could hear me. That was big for me. Thank you for being here for that. Anyway, Teo takes a walk. What a game from Teo. Boy, he is locked in early. I love this. The top of the lineup is all hitting right away, except for George, but he's at least getting on base. If you get those 4 guys all going at the same time, I shouldn't even say 4. Lourdes had a pretty good game too. This is such a dangerous lineup. If you don't have to wait around for them to all get on track at the same time, if they're all starting out pretty hot, Blue Jays could get off and running in a big hurry. I am ready for that. Anyway, Teo takes a walk to replace that runner on first. Lourdes steps up and yanks one. Looked like it had a chance to go, but instead it just kind of bounces up against the left field fence. Teo is flying. A really aggressive send from Rivera here, and I like it. I mean, you're a home team. It's a tie game. It's been a wild, high-scoring affair. Take a shot. Why not? And it looks like the worst that could happen happens. It looks like Teo is gunned down at the plate. But wait! Yeah, on the replay, he absolutely got the foot in there. And in the same inning that we see Texas use their challenge for the first time, we see Blue Jays use theirs. And just like the Rangers, it was successful, but quite a bit more impactful. Woo! What base running and what a slide from Teo. Not quite sure what Mitch Garver was trying to do there. I mean, I know they've changed the rules about blocking the plate, but man, it was like he was serving it up on a platter. Anyway, the correct call is made. Teo scores. Lourdes is back on third base. Blue Jays lead it 9-8. What a game. Jimmy Garcia does his thing in the top of the 8th. We go to the bottom. Chapman strikes out again. And, I mean, on the one hand, yeah, it's the first game of the season. Maybe he just doesn't have the timing down right. I'm sure he'll be fine. On the other side, that was the big concern about him last year, was he suddenly developed a big hole in his bat. We've got 161 more games to go, so we're not saying anything yet, but it's worth noting. Anyway, it's totally fine if we end up giving Romano a 1-run lead. He's totally good though. Jano! Danny Jansen! What a game from Danny Jansen. A single, a walk, a home run, calling a great game behind the plate, having to catch 8 different pitchers? Well, that's not easy. Boy, he made it look easy. What a game from Danny Jansen. I know Teo had a fantastic game, and honestly Lourdes had a really great game too, but I would be remiss not to point out Danny Jansen had a hell of a first game, and he looks an awful lot like the Danny Jansen that very quietly had an excellent offensive September. Any kind of production at all out of a catcher spot is a gift these days in MLB. And we've been waiting for this offensive Danny Jansen that we saw in AAA to really establish himself in the MLB. It'd be nice if this was the year to do it. That would be very good timing. And so we go to the top of the ninth. Jordan Romano in to slam the door. And he does just that, recording the first 2 strikeouts by Blue Jays pitching the whole night? That can't be right. That is right. Holy cow. Only 2 strikeouts the whole game for the Toronto Blue Jays, and both of them were Jordan Romano. Bullpen largely does its job. The offense absolutely does its job, picking up teammate Jose Barrios, who we know more often than not will be the ones giving the Blue Jays the best chance to win, as opposed to the other way around. A high-octane night, a high-emotion night, and you could really tell, especially at the beginning, there were a couple of jittery plays that you think would probably get made more smoothly as the season goes on. Matt Chapman, of all people, had a couple times pulling the ball out of his glove. It came out a little clunky. One time, it cost them an out. Kevin Biggio had an incident when he couldn't turn a double play smoothly. Noted left field sharpshooter Lourdes Gurriel absolutely airmailed a throw, allowing a run to score. So, not exactly super polished early on, but they certainly got their defensive shoes on later. Teo and Lourdes both made great running catches, and Vladdy had a great over-the-shoulder basket catch. Those kind of catches always look kind of goofy, but they're super difficult, and Vladdy made it without hesitation or any kind of effort. It seemed pretty nonchalant. Nice to see. Anyway, not exactly the way any of us would have drawn that up, but a win's a win, baby. The offense looked good. Everyone looked good except Jose Barrios, but he'll have lots more chances to rectify that. Anyway, we're on to tomorrow afternoon. Kevin Gausman's Blue Jays debut. After this marathon thing, boy, I really hope the guys get a good night's sleep because they're back at it pretty soon. And so am I, so that'll do it for this video. If you liked it, like and subscribe. Pretty Please with Sugar on Top will be your friend forever. We'll see you guys tomorrow for Game 2. Let's go, baby!